Michael Mizrachi has capped off the most impressive summer we've ever seen at the World Series of Poker, winning both the $50,000 Poker Player Championship as well as the 2025 main event. Those scores were good for $1.3 million and $10 million, bringing his total winnings for the 2025 World Series of Poker to over $11.3 million. The craziest part of this story is that on day 8, Mizrachi was down to just 3 big blinds after losing Ace-Jack all-in versus Ace-Queen, and that's where things, as you can see here, began to turn. We start small, Ace-King versus Ace-10 all-in pre. Mizrachi needs to hold to survive the tournament.
Jack 7-6, queen for Mizrachi.
No king.
Turn is a queen.
No king.
A king eliminates Mizrachi. River Ace, still alive, is the grinder.
This brings us to our next hand with 24 players left, 4 big blinds deep. Mizrachi gets all in with Ace-6 versus Ace-7 with his life on the line.
Ace-6, all of it.
Yeah, he's probably going to have a customer here.
Absolutely, is Dunaway happy to make the call with the Ace-7. Ooh, King 8-5 with 2 spades, 6 of spades in hand for Mizrachi.
Okay, you're optimistic.
I am.
Oh, wow.
Oh, baby, the turn is the Jack of spades.
I can see why you're optimistic.
The river is the Ace of spades.
The grinder's back.
The critical Ace of Spades on the river saves Mizrachi, moving him up to 9 big blinds now. Still not much of a stack, but alive in the tournament with a chance to make some moves. With an instant elimination out of his mind, Mizrachi could now take a look at the pay jumps, anywhere from $360,000 for busting immediately, all the way up to a $10 million top prize. The next big hand for Mizrachi happens at 12 big blinds, all in with King Jack against Braxton Dunaway's pocket 5s. 47% to win this hand. He once again will need to win this pot to stay alive in the main event. You guys are going to be shocked by what happens here.
It won't be easy as it comes 9-7-4, couple diamonds, king of diamonds in hand for the grinder. A lot of fun turn cards.
Diamond.
And that is one of them as the 3 of diamonds rolls off. King, Jack, or diamond to stay alive. Yes! The grinder is back!
All right, probably not too shocking, but once again, Mizrachi gets there on the river with a flush, once again needing to improve to stay alive in the tournament, and now he has doubled up to 24 big blinds or so. This is now a healthy stack. You can rejam over some opens. You actually have some playability. Mizrachi no longer on the absolute ropes, although he is a shorter stack in this field. Just look at the chips at the top here. You can see that the 16 million chip pot almost in last place still after this double up. So getting a run going, but still needs a lot of help. Day 8 was just getting going as it's the most brutal day of the main event and players have to play for so many hours to make it down to just one final table. Our next hand did stir some controversy. Was this a mistake from a well-known player at the table, Tony Gregg? Tony Gregg opened pocket 9s only to face a flat in the button from Braxton Dunaway, and then Mizrachi looked down the big blind at pocket queens, went all in for 22 big blinds. Back over to Gregg now. Very difficult spot with pocket 9s. Maybe you could possibly consider a hero fold versus some opponents, but certainly in theory land, this is absolutely a call, which Gregg ends up making. Certainly going to see the bad news once you see pocket queens, but can he spike a 9?
And here we go. 38.4 million in the middle.
A grinder gets it in pure.
A 4-1 favorite. Everybody up. 10-3 deuce. Safe for the grinder, who about an hour and a half ago was down to less than 2 million in chips. The turn is a jack.
This place is going to erupt if it's no 9.
Can't watch to go from the shortest stack to one of the biggest stacks in the room. With 18 left in the main. 6 on the river. The grinder revived.
Michael Mizrachi is behaving like he's at a hot craps table, standing up, saying stuff, getting into the gambling. And unfortunately for Tony Gregg, there'll be no dice here. No 9 appears, and Mizrachi once again doubles up, now on a very healthy stack as we are approaching down to the final table. At this point, we have some sad news, but I have to show you everything. The only pot Michael Mizrachi will lose all in over the course of this run. Pour one out for losing with Ace-8 for 6 big blinds. This guy can't catch a break. We fast forward many more eliminations. We are down to 11-handed now. Just 2 more players have to go to make the final table of the main event, the most prestigious final table possible. Mizrachi now on a large stack here, about 63 million chips here to start this hand. And he ends up all in once again versus Tony Greg. This time, Greg in for his tournament life. 10 million chips in there for him with ace-4 suited against ace-jack of spades, needing to improve or he will be eliminated in 11th place. The flop comes queen 7-3, 2 spades, and I've never seen a man look more dead. Look at him. Poor guy. He already knows his fate.
2 spades working for the grinder.
Well, the only work that needs to get put in is for Tony Gregg, who's got 2 4s working, but nothing further. And now it's over.
10 left.
Now going into the final table, these were the stacks at play. Lots of notable people in the field, including the first woman to make the final table in modern day history, Leo Margits from Spain on 53 million chips. Also, well-known poker player and used to work in the poker industry, Kenny Howlert from Belgium on 81 million chips as well. And then, of course, Michael Mizrachi, our feature hero here today, on 93 million chips. It's almost hard to believe how few chips he had on day 8. We also have to talk pay jumps. Everyone here guaranteed at least $1 million. And the prizes scale up to $2 million, to $3 million, to $4, $6. And the ultimate winner will receive $10 million, the largest payout at the World Series of Poker. The final table started, and 2 players were very quickly eliminated without Mizrachi's involvement.
And he jams, and here we go!
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hand number 1 at the final table has 72 million in the middle.
Unreal.
It's paint, but it's a jack. And Dayang Lee exits this final table in 9th place for $1 million.
Yeah, max pressure. Here we go.
Do see it, and here we go. Mingini all in and at risk with the ace-queen suited against 2 4s. And the river is a 10, and that does it for Jared Mingini.
Now down to 7-handed play. Michael Mizrachi picks up ace-king. Fortunately for him, he is up against the second best hand in Texas Hold'em, pocket kings. All the chips get in, and Mizrachi needs an ace or his main event run will come to an end. It's worth noting at this point, many fans were outraged that PokerGo's coverage on their platform had gone down, forcing people to watch over for free on YouTube. Many people who paid for PokerGo were upset because they paid, and now we're actually getting the product for free. Normally, this is where I would tell you about PokerGo's live streaming library and exclusive episodes from the World Series of Poker, High Stakes Poker, and much more. But, I guess you can just get that on YouTube now, so there you have it. I'll put a link below anyway. All right, so back to this hand. Ace King, pocket kings, down to the wire here for Mizrachi. How's this gonna play out?
I'm all in. Raise all in.
And here we go. More than 151 million in the middle.
The winner of this hand's going to win the tournament. I'm going to say that right now.
If he hits this ace, this place will explode.
Biggest pot of the main event. Jack 9-7. Clean for the kings. Grinder looks for an ace. We can see one was folded pre. That's why the ace of hearts is grayed out. Turn card is a queen. The straight draw arrives.
But 3 of he doesn't obviously know. That only added 1 out. 3 10s folded.
It's got to be the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, or the 10 of diamonds for Michael Mizrachi to stay alive.
Oh! Oh my God!
He finds the ace on the river.
He only had 3 live outs in the deck.
Looked like he was toast until he gave him the old Barry Greenstein. It doesn't really matter all that much because he's supposed to go all in, but I don't love Mizrachi's 4-bet to 30 million with this ace king. I think he should go smaller, something like 20 million, or he should just jam. He's effectively jamming, so I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but this is just kind of a weird looking size I would say you should not be using. Anytime you're committed to the pot, just jam and save the time. Also, what do you guys think? Was this a tell? Usually when my opponent is confidently saying that we're going up after re-raising, not loving my fold equity. I would be loving pocket kings though. After this incredible suck out and celebration, Mizrachi was now the chip leader of the event with 6 players left. But his work was not done quite yet. With 150 million chips, he still had a long way to go. There's about 600 million chips in play. About 1/4 the chips, not enough to get the job done. That will come next as Mizrachi ended up with ace king once again all in, this time against Hendricks.
And again, he gives the
Guys,
Not that we're big live reads guys.
I'm just telling you, I think Grinder's got a live tell. 2 thumbs to the
We're
skies
2 for 2 on that one.
is ace-king off.
Oh, and it's 2 jacks for Hendricks. Starting the hand with a little less than 30 bigs, facing the open from the chip leader.
Hendricks in between just, 3-bet call, I believe, with this hand. But because it's the grinder, as the chip leader who's going to be opening a ton of hands, he says, all right, you know what? 3-bet, I'm willing to play for it all if he 4-bets all in. I don't think we're 3-bet folding 2 jacks against Mizrachi.
No chance.
And I don't think Mizrachi's ever just calling with these chips in this spot.
150 million.
There it is. There's the jam. Hendricks looks back.
He knows he's in a 6 spot right now. The way Mizrachi said that, he's going to call anyway. Here we go.
Here we go once more. Could turn this tide of the tournament once again. Hendricks will watch alongside his rail. Let's see 3. Queen, queen, 4. So far, so good for the jacks of Adam Hendricks.
I can't help but feel like when I'm looking at Hendricks on the rail here that he already knew it was coming. It's a man that is not happy about his 76% chance to win.
The turn is a king. The turn is a king.
That's why.
Hendricks down to 2 outs. It's a jack there for the Iceman. No. And perhaps the toughest player left. One of the best pros out there in the game, Adam Hendricks, out in 6 for $1.9 million.
With a commanding lead of over 200 million chips, we now have what will probably be the most debated hand of the entire main event. This one happened where Holler opened the pot with ace-king on 150 million chips, and Dunaway 3-betting to 11.5 million with pocket 7s on a shorter stack of about 85 million. And then Mizrachi coming in from the rafters over the top, re-raising to 40 million chips here with pocket jacks. Couple notes here before we talk about the big decision point, but obviously standard open here from Howlett with ace-king. With Dunaway's pocket 7s, I would really prefer to just call on this stack size. We have about 40 big blinds with 7s. If we 3-bet and we get re-raised, unclear kind of what we have to do. I don't mind every now and then 3-betting, so I don't hate this play, but I definitely do prefer a call. Now, Mizrachi with pocket jacks in the small blind just makes what is clearly an error. In this situation, you want to have a very small sized 4-bet because Dunaway will be committed if he puts in any more chips, and basically your 4-bet needs to allow you the room, the opportunity to fold if Dunaway jams or if Holler jams. You do not want to 4-bet to a committing size. This removes your ability to bluff effectively. With those factors in mind, if Mizrachi wants to re-raise here, which he should do with pocket jacks, you want to make it about 25, 27, maybe 30 million in that kind of wheelhouse. You can maybe argue even smaller, 22 million. Something like that lets you occasionally bluff against these players. It lets you maybe have some folds versus Dunaway. It lets you bluff more versus Howler. When he makes it 40 million, he almost is telling Howler, I'm not going to fold if you jam, which is not how you want to be constructing your range because it prevents you from being able to have very many bluffs or really any bluffs at all. However, perhaps Mizrachi was playing 5D chess because if Howler knows that he can't fold to a jam, what do you do with ace-king here? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. As the poker world's leading expert in ICM, it is worth noting that busting here makes you only $2.4 million, and there are a couple shorter stacks, so getting out of the way here might give you a shot at winning at least $3 or $4 million bucks. So you'd want to be very confident in the decision that you do make, because if you bust the tournament here, it will cost you millions of dollars. At this point, some nerd with a calculator is going to come in and tell us what to do. I've had enough of this bullshit. It's time to play poker like we play football. Wrong. And that's why I'm going all in with ace-king. I don't care about laddering. I know Mizrachi can't fold. I'm here to win this tournament. And if Mizrachi has somehow a worse hand or also has ace-king, those are situations I cannot afford to pass up. If he has a hand like 9s, 10s, jacks, queens, we're flipping. And once in a while, he's going to have me killed with aces or kings. But that's a risk I'm going to have to take. I'm putting every chip in. I'll see you later. We're playing to win the main event. Howler, on the other hand, decides to go with the more conservative option.
And he does let go of the ace-king. Dunaway out as well, and Mizrachi extends his chip lead.
Our next hand, a rare post-flop hand. Don't you love tournament poker? where we see Mizrachi make the call here kind of loose with the 8-5 offsuit. You might be asking yourself, should Mizrachi be making this loose of a call pre-flop? And for the answer to that, we're going to send it over to leading poker analyst and upswing poker pro, Uri Pelig.
Doug, this is a very loose pre-flop decision from Michael Mizrachi.
Fascinating stuff there from the head coach of Lab 2.0, Uri Pelig, coming soon to Upswing Poker. We get a flop of 10-9-7 rainbow. A crazy flop here, guys. We have 3 players all flopping straight draws. Dunaway with definitely the best straight draw, queen to the nuts, and an 8 to the high end of the straight. Both other players flopping straight draws with their 8, but Haller to the higher one. If a jack rolls off, we'll actually have a higher straight than Mizrachi. So Mizrachi drawing very, very thin here on the flop. All 3 players decide to pot control this one and try to take a safe turn. And this opens the door for Mizrachi to make probably the best play we've seen at the final table so far.
And you see Grinder doing what he's done so often en route to this massive stack, and that is lean on him.
It's like he calls. And for Dunaway, I think we have to close the action and call as well with a draw to the stone nuts. But it is 20% of his stack. The king is just good a fair amount of the time too. Okay, huge river coming, Ali.
After betting the turn and getting called in 2 places here by Haller with the open ender and the flush draw, and Dunaway with the double gutter, everybody bricks the river as it pairs the deuce. And Mizrachi decides to fire the river, that second barrel, to try and take this one down for 25 million chips. It instantly gets through from both players, and he takes down another pot, increasing his chip lead and chances to win the event. Mizrachi opens up the queen 10, gets called in 2 spots by king jack suited and 9-7 offsuit, lets his opponents know that he thinks this is going to be a big pot, and we take a flop of king 10-3 rainbow. Mizrachi middle pair, second best kicker, Haller top pair, third best kicker, and Dunaway totally misses the flop. Mizrachi decides to bet here on the flop. Certainly could check this back. I prefer checking. Don't hate betting every now and then, but you're going to get action from hands you beat, like Haller's king jack, which does make the call. Dunaway folds. We take a turn.
Oh dear.
Lady in black on the turn, dressing Mizrachi with the best hand.
A queen on the turn, bringing in now a backdoor flush draw. Haller improves to top pair and an open ender, and Mizrachi improves to 2 pair. Haller checks, and now in Mizrachi's shoes, you actually should check this back some of the time. Your hand's good, but it's not quite as good as it might feel. Your opponent can have ace jack, jack 9 suited, king queen, queen 10 as well as a chop, and also there has to be hands that call you down. Mizrachi, other intentions though, and fires the turn to get some value.
For Haller, the exit is not the option, and obviously the raise would seem reckless.
This is quite difficult. I would go for the call. But he is going for the standard, let's call it 68 million in the middle. Grinder a 2-1 favorite.
The 4 is of 0 concern.
The river bricks off, and Haller checks once again. Now, queen 10 getting to be a little too thin for a big, thick river value bet. But maybe, just maybe, Mizrachi knows his opponent. He knows what he's got. He knows he has 1 pair. And if you know that, you got to size up and go for the glory, which is exactly what Mizrachi does with a 60 million chip river bet for most of Haller's remaining chips. Haller at one point had a gigantic stack, and if he calls here and is wrong, he will have lost almost all of it to Michael Mizrachi.
This not making the decision any easier.
No, it matters complicated further. And he picked an annoying size for Kenny. If he calls and he's wrong, he still has 24. Boyevich 16. He does pay it off. He hears the bad news, Ali. Oh my.
Unfortunately for Haller, he ends up making the call, is wrong, and loses a gigantic pot to Mizrachi. 1 player busts out soon thereafter, and we're down to 4 players left in the tournament. Michael Mizrachi in first place with over 75% of all of the chips in play. Mizrachi in the commanding position to take down the whole tournament going into the final day of play in the main event. As we look at the payouts in the final spots, we can see a very difficult situation developing where there's 10 million up top for the winner, 6 for second, 4 for third, 3 for fourth, but all of the players are on the short side with 2 very short stacks here of about 20 million chips, which also puts the second place guy in a very difficult position because he's got about 100 million chips. Basically, he can make 3 million in theory just folding while the 2 short stacks bust to Michael Mizrachi.
Ace queen off for Kenny. All in forthcoming.
The only place to go. King Jack of diamonds for the grinder, Nick.
Good luck, gentlemen.
This is hand number 1, and we've already got an all-in and a call.
Diamonds, ace, queen.
Needs to hold. Oh, and a jack! Now, it will take an ace, a king, or a queen. Otherwise, he's out in hand 1, and that'll do it.
All in.
And Dunaway, 10-6 of hearts in the picnic. Blind versus blind. Of course, he anticipates Mizrachi is going to attack with a wide array, but 10-6 of hearts strikes me as underperforming against 2 randoms.
I get it. He's clear short. He wants to gamble. Let's run him.
But he ain't doing well here. Mizrachi has this one by the throat. A diamond for good measure, and a table for 4 just became a table for 2.
I have to say that's the fastest $3 million I've ever made.
I always thought that the grinder was named that because he plays a lot, but I think it might be the skulls of his enemies. I don't know. Hard to say. And just like that, we are down to heads up, gigantic chip lead for Michael Mizrachi, but now he's got to close it out. In the first major hand of heads up play, we see a gigantic cooler situation. Top 2 up against a turn flush. Mizrachi checks it to trap his opponent, faces a bet, check raises all in with his signature. We're going upstairs. And after a quick call, we are all in, and he just needs to fade a full house, and he will win the WSOP main event. But before we take that river, Michael Mizrachi is 91% to win this hand. And I thought to myself, man, I've seen him win a lot of all-ins. So I went back and went to the 10 major all-ins that he had. These are mainly hands he was all in, but there were a few big pots where his opponent was all in for giant pots. And in total, there were 10 sizable all-ins where he had the following percentages. He won all 10. The chance of winning all 10 of those, just 0.14%. A little over 1 in 1,000 times to win that many all-ins. And here we take the final river of the World Series of Poker 2025 main event.
It's over. It's over. We won. Let's go.
Wait a minute.
It's not over, Grinder.
Mikey, wait a minute. He's got board pairs. Are we reading the board wrong? Hang on a minute.
Oh, ace or 9. Shit. I didn't know that. Shit. No ace or 9. No ace or 9.
That's all it would take. And it's over. But in seemingly preordained fashion, Nick, a life's work validated, a final table eviscerated, and a summer conquered for Michael the Grinder Mizrachi.
A special moment here after the victory. Michael Mizrachi is the first poker player to win his way into the Poker Hall of Fame. Officially announced after the tournament that Michael Mizrachi will be the newest addition to the Poker Hall of Fame. Certainly earned that spot winning these giant tournaments this year, and congratulations to Michael Mizrachi. A huge number of you are not subscribed and have not turned on notifications. We have way more great videos lined up for you, some big stories I'm going to be covering. So make sure to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, support the channel. I really appreciate you guys. I'll see you again soon.